The winner of the Eurovision Song Contest is selected by a positional voting system. The most recent system was implemented in the 2016 contest, and sees each participating country award 2 sets of 12, 10, 8 to 1 points to their 10 favorite songs, one set from their professional jury and the other from televoting. Small, demographically balanced juries made up of ordinary people had been used to rank the entries. But after the widespread use of telephone voting in 1998, the contest organizers resorted to juries only in the event of a televoting malfunctions. In 2003, Eircom's telephone polling system malfunctioned. Irish broadcaster RTE did not receive the polling results from Eircom in time, and substituted votes by a panel of judges. Between 1997 and 2003, lines were opened to the public for only 5 minutes after the performance and recap of the final song. Between 2004 and 2006, the lines were open for 10 minutes. And from 2007 to 2009, they were open for 15 minutes. In 2010, viewers were allowed to vote during the performances, but this was rescinded for the 2012 contest since the 2004 contest. The presenters will start the televoting process with the phrase, "Europe, start voting now." This invitation also applies to Australia since 2015. At the end of the voting period, the presenters will invite viewers to stop with the 10-second final countdown along with the phrase, "Europe, stop voting now." The BBC contacted regional juries by telephone to choose the 1956 winners. And the European Broadcasting Union later began contacting international juries by telephone. This method continued to be used until 1993. The following year saw the first satellite link up to juries. To announce the votes, the contest's presenters connect by satellite to each country in turn and inviting a spokesperson to read the country's votes in French or English. The presenters originally repeated the votes in both languages, but since 2004 the votes have been translated due to time constraints. To offset increased voting time required by a larger number of participating countries. Since 2006 only countries 8, 10, and 12-point scores are read aloud. 1 to 7-point votes are added automatically to the scoreboard while each country's spokesperson is introduced. The scoreboard displays the number of points each country has received and, since 2008, a progress bar indicating the number of countries which have voted. Since 2016, only the 12-point score is read aloud due to the new voting system, meaning that the 9 scoring countries were added automatically to the scoreboard. In addition, the televoting points are combined together and the presenters announce them in order, starting from the country with the lowest score and ending with the country with the highest score. From the televoting, for the 2019 contest the system is the same as before, but this time, the presenters will announce the televoting points based on the jury's rankings. The most used voting system was last used for the 1969 contest. This system was used from 1957 to 1961 and from 1967 to 1969. 10 jurors in each country each cast one vote for their favorite song. In 1969 this resulted in a 4-way tie for first place, with no tie-breaking procedure. A second round of voting in the event of a tie was introduced to this system the following year. From 1962 to 1966, a voting system similar to the current one was used. In 1962, each country awarded its top 3 1, 2 and 3 points. In 1963 the top 5 were awarded 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 points. And from 1964 to 1966, each country usually awarded its top 3 1, 3 and 5 points. With the latter system, a country could choose to give points to 2 countries instead of 3. In 1965, Belgium awarded the United Kingdom 6 points and Italy 3, although it was possible to give one country 9 points. This never occurred. The 1971, 1972, and 1973 contests saw the jurors, in vision, for the first time. Each country was represented by 2 jurors, one older than 25 and one younger. with at least 10 years difference in their ages. Each juror gave a minimum of 1 point and a maximum of 5 points to each song. In 1974, the previous system of 10 jurors was used, and the following year the current system was introduced. Spokespeople were next seen on screen in 1994 with a satellite link to the venue. The 2004 contest had its first semi-final, with a slight change in voting. Countries which did not qualify from the semi-final would be allowed to cast votes in the final. This resulted in Ukraine's Ruslana finishing first, with a record 280 points. If the voting had been conducted as it had been from 1956 to 2003, Serbia and Montenegro's Zeljko Joksimovic would have won the contest with 190 points. A 15-point lead over Ruslana, who would have scored 175 points. To date, non-qualifying countries are still allowed to vote in the final. In 2006, Serbia and Montenegro were able to vote in the semi-final and the final.